What's up, trail runners? This is Stacy Cochran, and I'm going to do a narration of the Douglas Spring Trailhead to Cowhead Saddle and back trail run that I did today in early December of 2016 with the Tucson Trail Runners group. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this 5-minute video of the Douglas Spring Trailhead to Cowhead Saddle and back trail run that I did with the Tucson Trail Runners. So a little bit about this run that you're watching on the screen right now. Of course, as I said a moment ago, it began at the Douglas Spring Trailhead, which is in the Saguaro National Park in Tucson, Arizona. The Saguaro National Park is a part of the Coronado National Forest on the east side of Tucson. And the trailhead starts at about 2,720 feet. And it's at the far east end of Speedway. There's a small parking lot at the trailhead if you need to park a car. There's space for about 30 or 40 cars there. So it begins at the trailhead at Douglas Spring Trailhead, which is 2,700 feet, and it climbs. This particular run runs all the way up to the saddle, which is at 6,160 feet. So it's a pretty strong climb, as you can see in the video, up to the saddle. And that climb is rewarded by just sort of breathtaking views out over Tucson as you're descending the mountain from the saddle. So at this point we're climbing up the mountains. These mountains are part of the Rincon Mountains on the east side of Tucson. It runs through a couple of interesting things to note about this particular run. It runs through a couple of really 3 different distinct ecological zones. So beginning at 2,700 feet in Tucson, we're really in Sonoran Desert ecology, and you'll see saguaro cacti, hence the Saguaro National Park, and typical vegetation that most folks not from the desert would associate with a desert ecosystem. But because of the elevation gain climbing up to 6,000 feet, it passes through several distinct ecological zones. The first being kind of a chaparral, savanna type environment with creosote trees and that sort of thing. And then this last part that we're watching here, as it climbs up to 6,000 feet and then turns around, is really through a riparian woody area with a lot of trees, and even towards the tail end of this run, around 6,000 feet, you'll even see a few pine trees beginning to emerge close to the water along that creek bed. So at this point we're descending down the mountain, and you can see some of the stunning views out over Tucson, even through this Google Earth satellite footage of the run. So if you're interested in doing these kinds of videos yourself, if you have a Strava account or some sort of GPX account, Google Earth is really easy to use. You know, for years I kind of wondered, like, what is the purpose of Google Earth? It's such a fascinating software application, but I didn't really understand it until I uploaded my GPX data from Strava, and then I was able to see just some of this stunning satellite footage in Google Earth. So it's pretty easy to do if you have a Strava account or some sort of tracking account like Map My Run or something, and you can get GPX data downloaded from your run if you've kept it on a Garmin or something like that. It's pretty easy to do. So download the GPX data and then upload the data to Google Earth, and you can play around with the settings in Google Earth a little bit and tilt the camera and the height of the camera so that it won't crash into mountains and things like that. At any rate, so yeah, this is the Douglas Spring Trailhead to Cowhead Saddle. At this point, we're descending some pretty wicked vertical elevation coming back down. I love the last half mile or so of this thing where it gets out into the flats, and boom, we're back at the trailhead. I'm going to pan around here so you can kind of see some of the surrounding mountainside. So to the north, we have the Santa Catalina Mountains, which, of course, the highest point there is Mount Lemmon, just over 9,000 feet. And out to the west, as you can see in that first shot, is Tucson. I'm going to pause here for a moment. That road, I don't know how well you can see it. I'll move the cursor over this. Here is Reddington Pass. You can actually drive up Reddington Pass over to San Manuel and Oracle on the north side of the mountain if you have four-wheel drive. So panning back around to the Rincon Mountains, the Saguaro National Park, and the Coronado National Forest in this particular shot. Just a beautiful, beautiful trail run that I did today in December of 2016 with the Tucson Trail Runners group. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, like and subscribe if you like the video. Feel free to share it as well. That's awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this.